The following podcast may be explicit. One Joe Young presents Adventures from the Shed, a tabletop RPG podcast. You can find us online at adventuresfromtheshed.com. Grab your spot at our table in the shed as we bring Mickie, JJ, Kurt, Chris, and Joe back to continue our Curse of the Crimson Throne campaign. It may have been a few weeks since you heard this one, but don't worry, we'll provide a full recap. Enjoy the podcast.
Hi, and welcome to the Shed for Adventures from the Shed. You can find us online at adventuresfromtheshed.com, on iTunes, Facebook, and all over the internets. We are back in the Shed with our regular cast. Here, we're going to be continuing our Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition campaign set in the Pathfinder Adventure Path Curse of the Crimson Throne. If you listen to us in a row, it is 5 episodes since you heard us last. So we're going to be giving a big old recap for you to get you back into the adventure right after we go around the table and say hi, starting with...
Hey everyone, it's Mickie. I'm back. I know you missed me.
JJ here, playing Ashley Morgan, or Morgan Ashley the Rogue.
This is Chris playing the Bard, call me Gary. Oops.
Hey everyone, this is Kurt. I am playing Crispin, the stout halfling barbarian.
I never say what I play. I play Veritana. Go ahead, Joe.
Who is?
A chick.
A chick. And I am Joe. I am the Dungeon Master for this adventure. All right, who is going to... Well, you know what? I'll start right from the beginning. Our characters were actually created in a pre-campaign session where we created characters for each other. And that's another thing I wanted to mention again. Let's see if we can think back to those characters that we're supposed to be playing and maybe try gravitating towards that, like maybe playing a kind lady.
Oh, fuck off.
Who has troubles with the truth, perhaps. By the way, a minute and 37 seconds for the first F-bomb. Not bad.
Is that a record?
No. I think you've had to listen to that.
Probably.
That was pretty good.
Sorry.
But we have those characters that we want to play in that way. We also have our standing house rule, and JJ has his back turned, but he can hear me.
Yep.
The standing house rule of if you're going to tell somebody something about their character, it has to be done in character. And I know we started that way, but we also veered away from it, and I'd like to try getting back to that. And we took those characters, they woke up from a dream, and they had notes on their nightstand that a local fortune teller was looking for them, brought them all together with a clue from their past. There was one common enemy, Gadrin Lamb, and they were set off to find him. Who wants to pick it up?
Not everyone talking at once.
The guy with the notes.
The guy with the notes.
So Zalard, who is the fortune teller, told us that Gadrin's thieves had stolen her deck of Harrow cards, which was an heirloom that had been passed down for generations. Her son got the deck back but was killed by Gadrin's servant. So that was kind of the plot hook to get us to go after him. That and the fact that each one of our characters had some connection to him. So after doing a harrow card or a harrowing card reading, which perhaps told us something about things to come, we went off down to the docks where Gadrin's headquarters were and fought around on some boats. There were drain spiders that attacked us, poisoned Ashley, but we beat the spiders fairly quickly before heading inside to face several foes.
Yeah, there was thugs in there. People who worked for Gadrin.
Yeah. Do you want me to keep going, or shall someone else?
Yes, both.
Awesome. So after fighting the spiders, we met a half-orc we called Giggles. He was beating the child workers, and we kind of worked our way in, fought and killed him, and then also saw a gnome who I think his name was Hookshanks, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, sounds right.
We saw Hookshanks and Gadrin kind of escaping through a door and followed them. We beat Hookshanks more easily perhaps than expected, but I guess, he was a gnome, so not that big of a deal. But Gadrin had a monster crocodile.
Is that a short choke?
It was.
It was also one of those, it's a level 1 encounter.
Yes.
So you're not going to stand to get hurt too much, and you're not going to do a whole lot of damage. So overall, it should be easy for a group to beat up on one thing.
Right. We ended up in this room with kind of a walkway around an open pit of water where Gadrin's crocodile was, and we actually took a while to defeat the two of them, but we did. We released, it's not important to the adventure, but Crispin had his hook to Gadrin was that his childhood friend Talon had been abducted by Gadrin, and Talon was there, and we released him, which made Crispin feel good. And then we decided we needed to head back to Zolara's to report in.
And I think that
Murdered
encounter with the alligator dial, can't remember if it's an alligator or crocodile, but with that thing was the first reduced to 0 hit point event we had with Tana getting bit by the thing, reduced to 0 hit points.
Yeah.
Go on.
So after that, we discovered that the king had perished while we were in there. We interrogated Gadrin a little bit. Got a brooch from the queen, likely from the queen, and a couple other plot items. Came out, torched the place.
Torch the place.
I mean,
Set it on fire.
It was convenient because when you stepped out,
the city was in riot.
Yeah.
And so we rescued a nobleman from the mob.
that's a good point. Do you have his name recorded somewhere?
I think it was Amin Gelento.
Yeah, that's good. You
Rescued
I have a
couldn't go
fantastic memory.
You couldn't go stay at his house, but it
Almond?
is important that you saved him.
Almond gelato?
Yes.
Amin Gelento.
That's how you could tell he's noble.
I
He
got
gave
it.
us the gold ring worth 250 gold.
That's
Uses
true.
as thank you for saving his life.
And we ended up taking the brooch to the queen and collecting a reward. And due to our extreme efficiency, she suggested that we work with the captain of the Corvosan Guard and bade us to travel to the Citadel and seek out employment there.
Yes. So you went to the Citadel, met Cressida. Gosh, what's her last name?
Croft.
I can't remember her
Croft.
last name.
Croft.
Yes.
Sisters
like Lara Croft, the Tomb Raider.
And she got you to go on a mission to help
the world's-
wrangle a renegade guard.
Yep.
Chris,
All
do
the
you remember
world's
that one?
meats.
Yeah, it's something Van Kaskerkin. I can't
Yeah,
remember.
Varric.
Varric Van
We kept
Kasker.
calling him Varric because I don't think I can say the last name the same twice.
Yeah, it turned out that the guy was kind of a stand-up guy, but the guys working for him were running some cannibalistic kind of like thing with selling
Yeah.
meat made out of people, some sort of like green action going on.
It's a good way to dispense bodies, though.
Yeah, of course.
And you end up finding rings.
They were
and
able to
stuff.
capture him alive. I don't think
Yeah.
we had any problems, and took him back to Cressida. Even though I felt bad because he's kind of I don't know. To me, he's like this freedom fighter guy, and he's not necessarily a bad dude.
You know, that's actually a good way to put it. He just didn't care for the queen
Right.
and didn't like that the guard was still hanging out and doing stuff for the queen, so he kind of took it upon himself to do something a little different.
And we did pick up a couple more baubles while at the butcher shop, including that ring
Mithril
and
ring.
a dagger, correct?
Correct.
The silver dagger.
As
Silver
far
dagger.
as far as actual loot, the ring was there. Stuff that didn't have a gold piece number associated with it, the silver dagger was there. And of course, bringing Varric back to Cressida for her to try and get him back on the right side of the law
Without killing him.
without killing him.
Man,
That's a
that-
plus.
that
It is a
plus.
huge plus, especially among the murder hobos that we are.
But he's not a bad guy. I mean,
You know, I think
It's just
what it
a
is,
little.
yeah.
you guys have
misguided.
had a place to stay here, so you're not hoboing it.
That's true.
So maybe
That- yeah.
some
Murder professionals.
level.
Murder professionals.
There it is. Yeah,
We're professionals.
you know,
Strictly business.
you're more like harassment transients.
Was it on the way back that we got attacked by the garbage monster? I can't remember where the.
I want to say, let's say it was. Yeah, it sounds good enough.
I think it was after we dropped them off. Then we were.
Yeah, and I kind of went
Can't
back
remember.
in time to say
Yeah.
we want to have this level 3 encounter with the garbage monster.
Yeah.
Mickey, what was that one? You remember beating up the garbage
I
monster.
do remember beating up the. Well,
That was after
Tried to,
Trinia
anyway.
Sabor.
It was before Trinia. The garbage monster was right before.
Yep.
It just kind of opened. The ground opened up, and it was causing a ruckus. So we had to handle that.
Could you describe the ruckus, sir?
It was a ruckus.
Breakfast Club reference.
Yes.
Oh, okay. It was chewing on a commoner that you guys saved.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Remember that?
Almond gelato.
Almond.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't almond
It
gelato.
wasn't him.
It was mint chip.
Mint chip.
A couple of people got grappled in that particular adventure.
Oh,
I
Crispin,
was-
yeah.
I was
Crispin,
grappled.
yeah.
Crispin
Well,
was-
pretty
yeah.
much the whole fight, yeah.
Yeah.
He was slammed down on the street several
Repeatedly.
times. However, he was strong enough, or constitutionally strong enough to handle it.
Yeah. I'd also like to just mention that in my mind, the garbage monster was like the Cthulhu aliens from the Simpsons Halloween episodes, and they were just grabbing me and going,
yes,
with their alien bubble heads on.
Yep. I believe that. Kane and Kodos.
Yeah, it'll work. Yeah.
Well done.
I know these
Out
things.
of the recesses of the mind.
Wow.
Jesus.
He's never heard Despacito, but he rememers those Cthulhu
But
aliens.
those are a 20-year-old reference. I get that.
Sweet
Right,
Lord.
Right?
It's true.
God, you're old. All right, move.
No, I don't know that song Exposito, Neil Probosito, whatever it is. I don't know that one. But
Crimson Pantalones.
I heard it won some Grammys, though.
There was a lot of twerking.
Man.
Is it twerking or daggering?
I don't know. It depends on who's doing it.
So,
All right, so we're almost.
So we finished off the garbage monster.
Yeah.
But yet it ran off.
Took out the trash.
Yes.
Ooh, well done. It ran away in
Thanks.
fear.
It went back down
It
so it
did.
could eat garbage and heal
Back
up.
to the recesses.
And that's when you were sent off by Cressida to properly question Trinia, because the queen had named Trinia, who's a local artist who had been painting
not quite yet.
portrait.
We've got blackmail material.
Oh gosh, that was before the garbage monster. That's what was before the garbage monster.
Okay.
So JJ, tell us about the blackmail stuff.
So the blackmail stuff, Cressida had us seek out some blackmail material for an ambassador who was getting a little bit uppity.
The Chilaxian
And-
ambassador, correct?
What's that?
Was it
Cheliax.
Cheliax.
It is Chelin or something.
Cheliax.
Chelish.
The Chelish.
If you're from Cheliax, you're Chelish.
Don't be
Not
Chelish.
Cheliaxian.
Don't be jealous of my boogie. Go ahead.
There's another Grammy.
There you go.
Up the charts.
So we went over there, and Crispin, he got a little bit
Little hands
he
on.
partaked of the local delights
But he
a little
did,
bit.
He inhaled.
He did.
He did.
That's the way we roll.
Yeah.
So all of Cheliax has a Me Too thing going on now because of Crispin.
So from there, we actually went in and we the hype man entered in first, and he set the mood.
You were the hype man.
Yeah, exactly. Ashley Morgan stepped in and he got the place riled up, and it was all to gain the favor of the King of Spiders.
King of Spiders.
And long story
Disorganized
short,
underworld.
after Crispin did beat the reigning champion, the King of Spiders
Knives
was very amenable to working with us, and
He
handed us the blackmail information.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, you guys just had to pay a nominal fee, and off it went. Now, just as a note, where Mickie, you said, I think you said he was disorganized or something.
Chris said he was disorganized earlier.
But what I want to point out, in that respect, just as a clarification, because this may matter later, Eel's End, the actual place where all the gambling and there's probably prostitution, there's definitely drugs, everything's going on. This is the seedy part of town. It is actually the one spot that the riots didn't reach, because this guy does maintain order and organization in his spot, insofar as it is
Good for
criminal
business.
underground that never actually hits any laws that could hurt them.
Yeah.
But they are, in many ways, very organized.
Okay.
But only insofar as, criminally organized.
Criminally
Right.
organized.
Criminal
They're the mob.
organization, as it were.
It's the mob.
Yeah. But I don't want to give the impression that the place was messy, because it wasn't. So we got that, brought that information back to Cressida, who I can't remember. I thought she handed it off to somebody as well. Either way, they had that information. And then we went after Trinia. Now, the deal with Trinia is
She was painting the king.
yeah, she was doing portraits of the king, and the queen apparently said that she was the assassin because she was coming there and steadily poisoning the king, and the king ended up dying. She's been named as the assassin, and people were out looking for her. Cressida told you guys that she didn't believe it, and she'd like to get Trinia questioned properly rather than just brought in and put to death.
Well, that we are also worried about mob rule.
Yep.
Kind of taking action on.
Yeah, torches and pitchforks kind of
Did
thing
we?
going on.
Is that where we met Rico? What's
Van
his name?
Carlo.
Van Carlo.
So you had already
Calling
met
Rico
him. He was the
Suave.
one that walked you to Eel's End. So that's a good point, Mickie. And but after getting Trinia, you dropped her off at a safe house where Van Carlo was. So the twice that you met up with him. The chase for getting Trinia was a rooftop chase among catwalks and clotheslines and all kinds of stuff that you guys ended up being able to catch her. Brought her in, and as we finished up the last episode, there were rumors of, I should say, an announcement from the castle that the assassin had been caught. Yet it is clear that they're not talking about you guys capturing them, because they said that the castle caught them, and it wasn't the castle, it was you guys. In that way, it is pretty clear that they're just making an announcement, perhaps to appease the general population or something going on there.
Could they have? I don't remember. So was the timing of it that was suspicious? They couldn't have known within the time allotted that she had actually been captured?
Yeah. That's probably the easiest way to differentiate it. I just want to make sure it's clear that they're not talking about you guys capturing Trinia. They're talking about something different.
They got a patsy.
Could it possibly be that
the real assassin?
That's a good point, too, yeah.
That's what I was wondering. So could it be that they found someone that they'll just pass off?
See, I think
probably almond gelato.
It's just that the queen is jealous of the painter's beauty, because we do know that this painter is absolutely gorgeous.
So we've got like a Snow White evil stepmother situation?
I don't know.
Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the greatest painter of all?
Fairest.
I know.
But over the next day, the mood kind of calms down more in Korvosa. So where it was anarchy, then it was riotous. Now things have calmed down.
It's just seething anger.
All right. So during the recent mob fervor and riots around the Queen's announcement that the king was assassinated, there was a group of thugs that took the opportunity to use the unrest to fuel their own goods, their own agenda. I mean, and Kurt may know some of this with knowing the
Paizo world.
Galarian, damn it. Galadria is what I was going to say. Completely different world.
Totally different.
Wow. The Korvosans and the Shanti have had tensions between them for 300 years since Korvosa was founded. However, over the last maybe 100 years, there has been specifically an attempt by the Shanti to level or to ease the tension between the Shanti and the Korvosans. A lot of that has been led by a very old shaman who leads the Shanti, the local clan. I think they use the word clan in here. And his name is Thousand Bones.
Is there a picture?
There is a picture. This is the one right here. It looks like, for all intents and purposes, like a stereotypical shaman of kind of wrinkly old. His eyes are actually white in the picture, which is interesting.
Yeah, the stereotypical Indian, South American.
Exactly. There you go. He might as well be on a little stepped pyramid somewhere doing some kind of ritual. So the next time, well, let's put it this way. You guys take a couple of days. You sort everything out. So any hit points you were down, recover them. Spells, make sure you pick the ones you want to go out on an adventure, because you're about to. And the next time you go to visit Cressida, here it actually says Field Marshal Cressida Croft.
Oh, okay.
So Field Marshal is correct. But the next time you go see her, on the way there, some of the guards in the Citadel, the Citadel's name, by the way, is Volshinek, which is why we haven't been saying it.
The Citadel works for me.
Yeah.
Exactly. Volshinek. You hear guards kind of talking to each other about the unrest, the most recent unrest between the Shanti and the Korvosans. And one of them mentions something about how one of those Shanti kids went and got himself killed. Now the rest of them are all worked up. If it's not one riot about to erupt, it's another. But Field Marshal Cross in her office now, trying to talk some sense into the Shanti ambassador. In fact, she mentioned if we saw you, we should send you her way. You meaning you guys, because you're walking together right now for whatever.
Oh, well, yeah, we're definitely walking.
Yeah. You probably practicing knivesies in the street.
We're skipping.
All right. We'll go and meet up with Cressida.
Okay. When you enter her office, with her is an elderly Shanti man of 60 winters, which I think just means he's 60 years old. Unless winter happens more than once a year, in which case he could be much older.
Oh, winter's coming.
He's about 30.
Yeah. And I have already asked Chris to read his dialogue because it specifically says, the old shaman speaks with a deep voice, his words carefully chosen, but delivered with a barely restrained anger, which is pretty much how Chris lives.
Barely restrained anger.
He's going to take a swig of whatever's in that cup.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
That pisses him off when someone says that. So, yeah, go for it, Chris. Let's read his dialogue.
My people have worked hard to understand those who dwell in Corvosa, yet it seems each day we see new examples of how the city's people work just as hard to foster old hatreds. My grandson is dead, beaten to death by cowards in your city street. I do not blame you, yet Gakin is still dead, and my son and his kin are not so forgiving as I. The wish to return to the Shaun-Kwa in the Cinderlands to join with the Sklar-Kwa and the rally to war against Corvosa. This would be disastrous for both our peoples. Amends must be made. Our ways are not as yours. If a body does not go to the hole to the fires of the ancestors, the smoke of the warrior's spirit cannot rise to the great sky. If I could send Gaken's body to the great sky with honor and dignity, his father and brothers would listen to me and stay their wrath. The talks of peace between my people and yours could continue. But he was just not murdered. His body was taken from the scene of his death, sold by a peddler of corpses to a necromancer known as the Rolf, a criminal to both our peoples. I have spoken with the spirits, and they have revealed to me that Gaken's body has been taken to a place below the city's graveyard, a place the spirits call the Dead Warrens. With this knowledge, I could surely lead a group of my finest warriors into your graveyard to retrieve Gaken's body, but this would be seen as an act of aggression by your people. No, it falls to you to make amends for what has been done. You must bring Gaken's body, lest we be forced to recover him ourselves. And although it pains my heart to say it, we will not be gentle if it comes to this.
He then rises slowly, nods curtly to Cressida, and leaves the room to return to his people and await the delivery of his grandson's body.
So basically, mic drop.
You
Mic
have
drop.
been warned.
So somebody named Rolf, apparently, who's a necromancer,
ROLF.
R-O-L-T-H.
Rolf.
Roll on.
Really Rolf's off your tongue.
So that letter that we were just reading about the grandson was from whom? That
No,
was
that was
Thousand
him.
Shaman.
That was actually the shaman speaking.
That was Thousand Bones.
Yeah, that was him. Yeah, sounds a lot like Chris.
Talking about his
Totally.
grandson.
Yes, it is his grandson that was murdered and taken from the scene of the murder and given to or sold,
sold to this Rolf
a
dude.
necromancer.
Which, you know, no
And
bueno.
Can't be good.
their rituals, the Shanti rituals, require that the body be burned whole in order for them to rise to the great sky. I think it was the
the
great
great
sky.
sky.
So Cressida, well, the mic drop. So if you seem taken aback by the mic drop, she assures you that that's just the way he is. No problem.
That's just how he is.
But she agrees with his assessment. Apparently somebody tied to Corvosa needs to find the dead Shanti's body and return it to his people as a gesture of goodwill. If you can help, there will be another 1,000 gold piece reward in it for you if you can help with this. And if you can, I'd like you to begin immediately.
So I don't know too much about the background, but I do know like the Chilaxian Empire at one point, which is south of where we are, south of Corvosa. The people who would become the Corvosians kind of drove north and fought for like decades with the Shanti, and so the Shanti viewed them as colonizers, basically. So that's kind of the source of this tension.
Okay.
And the Corvosians view them as kind of barbarians who belong up in the north, not in with them.
It's good that you say that because that's actually how they describe it in the beginning of the event, so that works.
What's the grandson's name?
It is
Gaken?
spelled Gaekhen.
Yeah, Gakin or Gak.
Yeah. You said Gakin,
Yeah,
Gakin,
Gakin, yeah, I don't know.
Gherkin.
Gherkin.
Yeah.
Jerkin the Gherkin.
Herkin jerkin.
Sweet baby Gherkin.
I mean, basically, we need to get some intel on this Rolf guy, and before it looks like they're going to give us some time. But if we don't have it in time, they're going to come
here's the deal.
busted in the door.
There are specifics here. If you have questions for Cressida, and if you want to know who Rolf is, she actually has some information on who Rolf is.
Oh, wow.
So
Something useful.
Yes.
Holy cow.
She pulls out the dossier.
It
Scroll.
Open up the book, dust poofs out from it. Rolf Lamb has long been a thorn in my side.
Wait, is he related to Gator Lamb?
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's like in 7 sentences. Yes.
Okay.
But yes, he is. So he's a failed student. He's a monster of a man who was expelled after the true nature of his experiments were revealed. He was butchering vagrants, stray animals, and anything else he could get his hands on to try and build some sort of golem from their collected parts. As a note here, who says golem? Who says golem? Anyone?
Gollum.
Golem.
I say Gollum.
Yeah. Okay.
So I mean, you're already
Potato.
outnumbered.
That's fine. I'll keep saying golem.
Yeah, I can go either way with that one. Go.
But the Academy didn't press charges because it didn't want to cause a scene. It just quietly expelled him, and he's been trouble ever since. Personally, I suspect he's responsible for a large number of additional murders over the past decade, each involving mutilation to the body, but he's a slippery one, and I've never been able to find any evidence against him. He may or may not be in the dead Warrens, but anything you can find there that could lead to his arrest would be greatly appreciated. And now, did you express any shock in hearing the last name? Because she does. Well, I'll just read
Yes,
it
but
out
then
here.
no.
Yes
He's a
and no.
douchebag. Okay, I guess it makes sense.
He must be a lamb.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
But he is definitely the only surviving son of the local crime lord Gadrin Lamb, who has recently gone silent. I don't remember if you guys talked to her about Lamb, but she's mentioning how she hasn't heard anything from Gadrin Lamb in a little while now.
There's a
Strange
reason
how
for
that
that.
works out.
I'll totally do a he's been taken care of. Wink, wink.
So congratulations and thank you for dealing with one of the city's most notorious thugs. But I'm sorry, I can't
be another
reward,
1,000.
I can't reward you for that task since I can't condone vigilantism.
Trust me, his death was reward enough. Bah.
Just like that.
But be careful if Rolf knows that you had a hand in Gadrin's fate.
You know what?
That may be a
It
problem.
might
I
incite
can't.
him
Yeah,
to
I
action.
can't wait. Bring it.
Yeah. Bring it.
Oh, it's already been
Onto the cheerleader stuff
Already
again.
been brought in. Okay.
All right. So, was she got anything else on him?
Not him. That's it for Rolf. He's kicked out of the Magic Academy.
So, any more information on the dead
Academy.
Warrens?
The Dead Warrens? What are the Dead Warrens? They're Corvosa's graveyards in the Grey District. They're riddled with underground chambers, some of them burrowed by ghouls or other monsters. Others are remnants of ancient Shanti burial grounds. Some of the Warrens are patrolled and kept clear of monsters by the Church of Pharasma, which is, I think, the first mention of this may or may not be important later. Yet the Grey District is a large place, and the tunnels below are vast and tangled. The Pharasmans focus on containing the problems with undead and necromancers, but as soon as they wipe one out, it seems two are ready to take their place. The problem's particularly vexing in Potter's Ward, where the bodies of the poor and homeless are buried. According to Thousand Bones, the dead Warrens were one of his people's burial vaults. You can find the dead Warrens in the chambers that lie under Potter's Ward, which might be on the map if we have that, but either way, it's part of the Grey District.
Do we want to talk to these guys, the Pharasman clerics, or anything for
No.
some help? No.
No. I'll tell you, no.
They're on vacation.
They're not here
Okay, I just
anywhere.
Be nice to have some undead kind of help. Go,
Bah.
So just saying.
You got a wizard.
The Grey District was mentioned in the letter from Thousand Bones. That's where we got that info.
He didn't have a letter.
He was
was a
saying
conversation.
the words.
Dialogue.
Tyler.
But I don't remember if he mentioned the Grey
Yeah, he did.
District.
Oh, he grabbed the dead Warrens. He mentioned
Dead Warrens.
Dead
Right.
Warrens, yes. The Dead Warrens is where he believes his grandson's body has been gone to, because the body was taken from the scene, sold by a peddler of corpses to a necromancer named Rolf. And he's spoken with the spirits, and the spirits have revealed that Gaken's body has been taken to the Dead Warrens. But he has to believe the spirits.
And that's in the Grey District, is that correct?
Yeah, the Grey District, and you have to look in the chambers that lie under Potter's Ward.
Got it.
Yeah, I don't have it specifically on a map or noted on a map here. So, Chris, I couldn't help you where to look on it. But if you can find the Grey District, it should be there. And she also tells you that they were able to take the man who sold Gaken's body to Rolth into custody, and he's a simpleton named Elkaris. He spilled everything when they told him what was going on, and he knew how much trouble he was in. In any event, he delivered the body via a wheelbarrow to a partially collapsed mausoleum deep in Potter's Ward near the southern edge. And there's a toppled and headless statue of a sword-wielding gargoyle laying in the dirt near that entrance. So he gives you some landmarks to go by.
I think it's this bottom area. It just says gray.
That could be it then.
Yeah, that's like a graveyard.
So essentially, you get the information on how to get there, so you don't have to go on any scouting missions or anything.
So the Grey District has 4 wards: the Gold Ward, the Everyman Ward, the Potter's Ward, and a Sepulture's Ward.
If it gives you kind of the areas, then based on that map, wherever Potter's Ward is where you're headed. So, what we have here... the last thing.
Failure.
In order to be able to identify him, because it is likely that the necromancer may be doing the same thing to him that he has done with other bodies. In order to be able to identify him, Gaken was about 18 years old with short brown hair and a distinctive scar from a fire pelt's claw on his left cheek. Furthermore, he had several large and distinctive Shanti tribal tattoos on his arms and torso.
Plus, we need to hope that this guy's still in one piece.
Yeah. So between his identifying marks and the idea that there's unlikely to be any other freshly killed Shanti down there, you might be able to find out who he is. Now
I need to change a spell.
Yeah, you guys go ahead and put together your plan.
Turn undead.
Equipments.
I don't have that yet.
You guys have money? I don't know if you want to make a quick stop by a spot to get some healing potions or anything, that if you don't already have them. Any other kind of stuff, knowing that you're about to...
bought a bunch of healing potions last time.
Yeah. I'd like to buy
knowing you're about to head to where a necromancer is known to be, whatever you might want to bring along with you for that trip.
I'd like to get a potion of ass whooping.
Sure.
Can I get it?
Now, hold on.
Can of ass whooping to
That's
go,
a thrown
please.
weapon, though. Right? You're not going to drink that.
Ranged attacks.
Right.
Can I get it?
Can of whoop ass?
A can of whoop ass to go?
Mm-hmm. Because you drink it, what happens? You just start kicking your own ass?
Just a whirlwind. It's a whirlwind of ass kicking.
But that would actually be kind of a cool thrown weapon.
So I never
It only
play
hit you in the back.
fighters or barbarians.
The ass. Straight in the ass. It's the ass potion.
I never play fighters or barbarians, which is, of course, why the character was made for me. So I'm just assuming that I don't ever have to buy anything special, and I just swing and hit things.
Yeah,
pretty much.
But maybe you want a different looking weapon, or some kind of special shoes, like we talked about in one of the last episodes. Chris's character Greg got the boots that let him get through difficult terrain. Which, when difficult terrain came up, we said, it doesn't matter, because it didn't for that. Did you mute your mic? Okay. Because you said something I didn't hear.
I wouldn't mind stopping by a temple to pick up some holy water.
Okay.
Yeah, that's probably...
Now, as far as a weapon, just make sure we know what that does, if you're going to use it as a weapon.
It is 25 gold and deals 2d6 splash damage in a 20-foot radius.
To undead?
To undead and fiends.
Okay.
Radiant.
You got it?
Found him.
Yeah, so just make sure you know those things and mark off the money. What else we got?
My axe is probably not awesome against skeletons. Maybe I need a club.
Yeah. Something
There'd be
more
slashing,
of a
right?
Yeah.
bludgeoning weapon, yeah.
Maybe.
Hulk
Can we stop
smash.
by a? Actually,
Did you
while
say
we're
Hulk smash?
I did.
while we're at the temple, which temple would we be at?
Honestly, I'm not sure which one might be right nearby, but
Okay.
pick the name of a deity that you want.
Bahamut, then, I guess. I
Sure,
don't know.
why not?
Bahamut in...
No, but
we're playing
what is he? I'll
D&D.
tell you. Yeah,
I just want to basically ask
A
the
dragon
cleric,
deity. Just
what
call it a
what
dragon
preparation should we make for fighting undead?
Well, holy water's a good idea. Bringing a cleric with you would be a good idea.
Can we hire
Any
a cleric?
kind of turning undead.
Say
Right
like
now,
1-800 cleric?
Right now, I would say it would probably take more time than you have to recruit somebody.
How long does it take to become a cleric? I'm pretty smart. I only have -1 to intelligence. I'm sure I could learn.
Totally.
Oh, bless his heart. Is he like this all the time?
All the time.
I mean,
Oh, wait, no, I'm supposed
Would
to
it
be
be better
nice.
for us to have different weapons, though?
Well, you
Because
could
I have
say
the
that,
piercing,
you
it's
know.
kind of, should I go for something that has slashing?
And you know that the funny part is I was just going to look at that. I honestly can't remember if
Well, you
that's
could.
true in 5th edition at
Yeah.
low levels or not. So it makes sense in our heads, yes. But I'm not sure that skeleton...
I'm gonna flip my axe sideways and hit him broadside like a club.
Right, if I have a rapier, I'm going to have to get at least a longsword or something.
So like if I just look at skeleton...
Mace.
All right, so the way it works, a CR 1/4 skeleton in 5th edition has a vulnerability to bludgeoning, but no resistances. So you're still going to do normal damage
Right,
with a
that's fine.
sword or
That's
rapier
good enough,
or
good
whatever.
enough.
Right. But they do have the vulnerability. And I don't even know if there will be a skeleton, but that gives you the idea. I don't
I'll
think
bludgeon
they'll
him with my
have much.
biceps.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally
Yeah.
will.
Joe does not find Crispin humorous today.
No, I do. I'm just trying to be ready for when you guys actually do have to fight something because I have to kind of read.
Can
Special.
we get a from the cleric?
Yeah.
Would you mind scribing like a scroll of some kind of spell that our wizard could cast?
What can the wizard? Can the wizard cast bless or guidance or?
Bless would.
I was going to say,
probably
how long does Bless last for?
But if the wizard can't cast it, then
Nope.
But a scroll,
No.
you can still. I can't.
doesn't it have to be from a school you know?
Yeah, I think so.
In order to
can
do it-
thieves do scrolls?
But bards can.
But see, it used to be. Gosh, I am so used to the old rules. It used to be use magic item.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
skill doesn't exist anymore. So
Oh, crap.
tell you what, let's do it this way because I think it'll be fun. Yes, you can have the
concentration.
scroll. When you go to roll it, you will have a DC of the spell's level plus 10 to cast it successfully.
Okay.
So if it's a level 1 spell, then we'll do a DC 11 to cast it successfully. If you don't cast it successfully, then the scroll will just disappear anyway. Yeah, it'll just poof. And if you happen to roll a 1, we'll see what the critical fail card says. But let's play it that way. So if you want to, and we're going to do this as, it will be 1,000 gold piece per level of spell as a donation to the church.
1,000 per level.
Or even a protection
That's a
from
lot of
evil
gold
would be
for that
good.
spell. For 1,000 per level.
In order to get this done quickly, you'll need to make a substantial donation to the church of
Protection from
1,000
evil,
gold
maybe, you
piece
think?
per level of the spell.
Protection from evil and just pick undead? Is it the evil?
Yeah.
I realized when I was
I don't know.
preparing yesterday, as I
500 for a cantrip.
do for every game,
Yeah.
that my character has a trait, halfling
take
trait
it.
of lucky.
Lucky.
On a roll of a 1 on any attack, save, or ability check,
forgot
I get to
about that.
re-roll.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Yep. It's for coming up short everywhere else. You-
Whoa, did you call me
Chris,
short?
I did.
We've had
No,
this
no.
discussion before. I'm long where it matters, my friend.
Bless his heart.
Try-
Oh, my goodness.
So yeah, if
No,
you
my other
want,
leg.
if
No,
you
my
want the
other
spell,
leg.
if you want the spell, whatever the level is, deduct 1,000 gold per level, 500 for cantrips. We'll get that. Make sure you say you have it before we get started because we're about to get started, and you're going to find your way there. So I'll give you a little bit of.
We have rope, right? Someone has rope?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll give you a little bit of words to go along with this. It isn't flavor text or narrative, so I'm just going to pick stuff out of here that I think is important for you guys to know. So Corvosa's vast graveyard, which is a region known as the Grey District, is a mournful place, even by day. The district is alone in being a place of quiet and calm in the face of the civil unrest. So it's almost like you're walking into a veil of silence as you approach the Grey District. You hear a bird or a cricket or something every now and then, depending on the time of day. But there is very little sound made by humans or any other biped in the area. As you approach Potter's Ward, the feeling becomes even more ominous. Even the little bits of nature sounds that you heard vanish, and it's just a silence, a little bit of wind here or there, a puff of dust blowing up from a grave. And this is Potter's Ward is the final resting ground for Corvosa's poor and homeless. It is the dregs of the cemetery. This is where the lowest class folks, unfortunately, are laid to bury. Mounds of unmarked dirt stretch far and wide, like the sites of mass graves, and crumbling mausoleums from years ago, abandoned by their families as the Grey District expanded to the west. They dot the bleak landscape, and everything seems forgotten and empty here. So you find that thing I described earlier. As you walk around a little bit, you do find a toppled statue of a gargoyle wielding a sword. And you found the entrance to the Dead Warrens. It is stairs that go down. And let me just make sure that I am going to, pick the right things in the right spots. It's all of the Dead Warrens are dimly lit by patches of eerily glowing mold that fills the chambers with a cold blue light. I don't think anybody has any problems in dim light overall, so I think we're good there. But just as a note, there's this kind of eerie blue light the entire time by the patches of mold throughout. The air is musty and damp, stinking of rotting flesh always in the background.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. Okay.
Time of day that we decide to go to this?
We'll just say it's midday.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be underground. You guys are heading underground here.
Gotcha.
I'll kind of leave it up to you guys, but this is going to be a dungeon crawl. If you want to grab the whiteboard and kind of make yourself a little map as we go, it might be helpful. I don't have a printed map to hand you guys, so that doesn't help here.
Yeah, a piece of paper.
Yeah, however you want to do it, just to give you an idea.
Got the hex paper?
As we go, I'll describe the room, tell you a little bit of what to draw, and then we'll just keep a map going that's at least close to what I've got as the actual map. So you're going to go downstairs.
You JJ?
I got it.
The entrance itself is 10 feet wide entrance. The ceilings are they vary at a relatively constant 6 to 6.5 feet as we go throughout here. So whenever you want to know about the height of the ceilings, if it changes, I'll tell you. It might seem a bit claustrophobic for some taller people, but other than that, everyone, if you happen to have any short halflings in the group, they'll probably be fine.
Quick question: for scaling purposes, are we coming in on the top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right of the map?
For scaling purposes, just to make it easy, I will show you this quickly, if I can. You are coming in here.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Good job,
that's
actually.
the right spot already. The northwest corner, but the north part of that corner. Yep. 10 feet wide, and you're going about 30 feet ahead before it opens up into a chamber. That chamber itself, this is a large room supported by 4 wide pillars of stone. The ceiling above arches into a dome nearly 20 feet high. The walls are lined with skeletons caked into the mud. Adult human bones mostly, but here and there smaller bones might be from halflings or perhaps children. 15-foot square pits sit to the east and west, each filled with a large heap of hundreds of bones. And to the south, a crude hole has been gouged out of the wall, providing access to a tunnel. So here you want a room that just make a big square. Actually, the circle is fine. And then on the right and left sides of it are these 2 pits that have bones in them. And they kind of go outside of the room. All right, so they're like 2 attached 15 by 15 rooms. Mm-hmm. And then as you have it there to the south is an exit from the room. In the middle are the 4 pillars. You have that.
How's the lighting in the room?
Dimly lit by blue patches of moss.
Okay.
Or did it say mold? Actually, the description was mold. Moss mold, I guess, probably doesn't make much of a difference. And here, first, let me see. What's a marching order? Who's going first? You're walking into a dungeon. You're an adventuring party now, I think officially. What's
You
your
go
marching
front.
You're
order?
first.
Okay. And did we
little guy
change any
first.
numbers up there like we were going to?
I think we need to.
I don't think we
Until we
need
go
to.
to 6, I don't think
did.
we have to.
Correct.
Okay. Well, Kurt had mentioned he had changed some stuff with his.
I thought I had, but I'm okay.
But no? All right, good.
Actually, my passive perception is 12, not 13. But other than that, I'm good.
Okay. Tell you what, let's do this. Who are the first two people? So we have
I'm the
Kristen
second.
and Ashley. Both of you give me perception checks, please.
Woo!
Oh, a 2 on the die.
A 2 on the die.
Oh.
A 2 on the die.
Fantastic.
High five.
So,
I'm looking over his head, though, so maybe.
no. Because you might be watching for something coming behind you.
No.
So your passive
you totally
perception.
do.
Or I'm watching Veritano. What?
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 You're watching for something coming behind you. Hey-yo. By the way, Kurt, I'm going to keep making halfling jokes for some reason. Just, no. I won't come up short there, that's
Look,
for sure.
we can't make fun of anyone in the real world anymore. It's fine if you have to discriminate against the noble people.
Well, they're half noble. They're halflings, after all.
Just a little bit.
Just a little.
All right. So here we have, I just want to make sure I get all of the things here. Blah, blah, blah.
Oh, no.
Yada, yada, yada.
Not the blah, blah, blahs.
Yada, yada, yada. Oh, there's a lot of that.
Followed by the yada, yada, yada.
All right. So first, we're going to
I draw my sword and I target the first yada, yada, yada.
We're going to need to keep track of initiative.
I can do that as well.
Go,
Oh, my
go
God.
for it. JJ is stepping up to the plate. That's like a plate. Sorry.
But in Spanish.
I know you don't get Spanish, Mickey. I know you don't get it.
They don't speak that in Haiti.
Oh my goodness! It's suitable that I rolled a 20 because I'm going first anyway.
Oh, God.
I like it when you waste your 20s on initiative.
That's all
Me
right.
too.
But the thing is, I got a surprise round, so I'm going to go
The fuck?
all of the bad guys, and then one of them gets to go again too. That's nice. So for me, JJ, if you
And
would write 20
there's the
and
end of the
6.
encounter.
It could be. They're easy monsters for these 4 third-level characters. However, with the surprise round, they're all going to get to go first. So you guys all roll initiative, please, because that'll make a difference in the second round.
I have 10 total.
Anybody? Bueller.
15.
15.
Oh, yeah. If you're going to keep track, you got to write this shit down.
You gotta sit down, dog. What's up?
15.
18. 18.
Okay. Do we have all the numbers?
We do.
All right. As Crispin and Ashley reach the bottom of the stairs, some of the bones just kind of spring forth from the piles.
Oh, wonderful.
And from either side, where those 2 pits were, there are 2 human skeletons from each side. So 4 human skeletons pop up out of there and start to move towards you. And right from the middle, where there's a pile of bones, a large thing. Actually, there's a picture. I'll show you guys here. This thing pops up. It's actually an owlbear skeleton.
Yeah.
Yes. So that pops up from the middle, and that's the thing that got a 20 on the die. So it's going to go to either Crispin or Ashley, whoever rolls lowest on a 20-sided die. I'll let you guys pick who gets hit.
I got a 9. You got a 1.
Oh, no, wait. This is a bad dice. It's got multiple ones on it.
Oh, that's a D10.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. It's 0 to 9
It's a D10
twice.
on a D20.
Yeah. It is, Kurt.
Okay.
Don't use that one.
Well, that's what I rolled on my other
20-sided
D20s, huh?
D10.
I can never get a 20 on this dice.
Ever.
I thought it was just worn off.
That might help with your initiative.
That's funny. All right. So is
you,
this
you can re-roll your initiative
You may
if
have
you
to
like.
That
reroll
doesn't
your
look
initiative.
There's only one of those in that bucket.
And he picked it.
He did.
18.
All right.
All right.
So
Now,
Ashley is getting
You
whacked.
want to re-roll your initiative? You had a
Sure.
2. You could definitely have a better initiative.
19
There you
plus
go.
2, 21.
All right, that's going to help. All right, so the owl bear lunges.
Just for the listeners at home, that doesn't look anything like a D10. It was very
Well, it's a
confusing.
20-sided die that
Yeah,
just has the numbers,
1 to
0 to 9 on it. All right, so we're going to do this, as I was saying earlier, you guys are going to be rolling for defense rather than me rolling for attack. Ashley, The owl bear skeleton is coming at you with 2 claws and a bite. So, you tell me what your defense
13,
is.
18, and 8.
Okay.
So
one,
I need to add 5 to those. So 18, 23, and 13.
Okay. So the bite will hit you. The
Okay.
2 claws miss. The bite will hit. The bite is... I'll roll the damage because I can.
The big
Although
one.
I should have dice. What?
The big one.
As a D6. That is 7 points of damage for the bite.
Where did he bite you?
On the shoulder.
Right.
Right on the shoulder. And then the human skeletons, I'm just going to have 2 attack Crispin and 2 attack Ashley since they're coming from opposite sides. So go for that.
So we roll a d20 and add our second number of our AC?
You got it. So you're rolling a D20 and add your AC minus 10, essentially, yes.
All right, so I got 14 and 24.
All right, so the...
That was a critical fail for the whatever that was that attacked him.
Yeah, because I got a 20 on the die.
That would be a nat 1 on yours.
okay.
So you get to
I have the critical fail deck.
pick a deck.
I have
You've got it?
I have the fail deck. So I will pick this card, and in the meantime, what was the other number?
24 and...
19.
Yeah, 18 or 19.
Okay, so that one did not hit you. Let me just get this. I had skeleton open and then I closed it.
You know why? Because I'm a very dexterous little barbarian. I actually have danger sense.
Do you?
Gives me advantage on dex saves against effects I can see, like traps and spells. I'm quick and nimble.
All right, so the
I'm not
skeleton is attacking
like
you
big,
with
burly,
a
slow
short
barbarian.
sword, and that would be... All right, so technically, its critical fail is its next 2 attacks will deal minimum damage. That's kind of a neat fail. So it's when it can do a D6 plus 2, it will only do 3 points of damage on its next 2 attacks. No, it can't do any more than that. That's kind of neat.
Fair
All right,
Cool.
and for Ashley, the other 2 skeletons.
Okay. All right, that is a critical hit. And
So hold on, you rolled a 1?
I rolled a 1.
Okay, so then I have my own critical hit deck for GMs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We're going to these game, what the heck were they again? Game Master's Toolbox cards that I got in the the Dungeon Crate subscription I had once upon a time.
The second is 18.
All right, so that one will miss, but the other one that is a critical hit deck for me, he's using the slashing. That would be... You will deal 1/2 damage on your melee attacks for the next 1d6 rounds.
Jesus.
3. You will do half damage for the next 3 rounds.
We're totally hobbled here.
That sucks.
Totally.
Okay. So now we start with regular initiative. Now I had a 20 on my roll. You didn't have a 20, right?
Well, I had 19 plus 2.
Right. So the owl bear is still going to go first because I rolled a 20.
Yes.
I didn't even add an
Correct.
initiative modifier. It was a natural 20. So the owl bear will attack again. Will attack Ashley again. Same
Right.
thing. 3 attacks, 2 claws and a bite. They're all the same number.
All right, so 21,
Miss.
21,
Miss.
and critical fail.
You rolled a 20?
I rolled a 20.
Okay.
Dude, I like that dice.
It's going well so far. All right, now which one was it? This was the critical fail deck. All right, so for the owl bear,
He's going to bite
this is
himself.
going to be his bite. Yeah, he's going to bite himself.
He
Let's
breaks
see.
a tooth.
It's not that. It's not that. It's a melee attack. If I do this right, yes, he bites his own foot. Did someone say that?
That's one of the skeleton. Yes, somebody else did.
Well, I'm just going to make it that he misses you and goes face first into the wall.
Oh, nice.
It says you strike yourself in the foot, dealing maximum damage. I'm just going to have him run face first into the wall, suffering maximum damage.
So I was like, dodge.
There
Dodge.
you go. Yeah.
Duck and roll.
So he is taking. You know what? I didn't even grab something to write with. Would someone please and one of the little pads, please? I have mine here somewhere. I don't know where it is. GM fail this morning, apparently. Thank you, JJ. All right. So the owl bear. Got it. The owl bear is going to take
Max damage? What you said?
the maximum for
Max
him.
damage.
Yep. So he's going to take 10 points.
Whoa, that's a hard wall.
Face first into the wall. All right.
Take what we can get.
And we have the 4 skeletons.
How's that wall taste?
Now I think Crispin is up.
Crispin.
Finally.
Crispin, yes.
All right. So he is not going to rage yet because who knows how big this dungeon is.
I do.
You do. That's true. He's just going to attack with his two-handed battle axe.
So you have 2 skeletons on you.
Just, yes. Can I swing in a way that I get to try to hit them both?
Only if you have cleave.
I do not. So I will. It doesn't matter which one I
Otherwise,
swing
cleave becomes a useless thing for everyone else.
at. Pick one. I mean,
Yeah, go for it.
I think that's the 6.
Make
'cause
numbers.
That's a 9, I think.
Yeah.
So that will be a 10 attack.
10? You missed.
Bummer.
Good gosh, man.
Not a great start.
No. And at level 3,
So
you don't
bad.
get any extra attack or anything?
No, I get that at level 5.
Okay.
I could have done.
Then
Oh, I should have done. Nah, that's all right.
who's up next?
Gregarious.
Gregarious, yeah.
Greg.
So what's open?
So you have an owl bear that has just bashed its face into the side of the cavern, the entrance to where you are, and 2 skeletons on Ashley, 2 skeletons on Crispin.
I'll go for the owlbear.
Okay. What you gonna do?
Gonna rapier it.
Rapier.
Ugh, no, probably not unless it's like a...
It doesn't have a high AC.
Well, then maybe a 14.
A 14 hits.
Oh, my God.
yes.
Very
it's a
nice. Very
14.
nice.
And I'll use one of my flourishes so I do a little bit extra damage.
Go for it. And tell me how much.
Well, I get to do the Bardic Inspiration die first to see how much extra damage. That's horrible. At least I got the dueling, so it's going to be total damage. It's
Is
going to be 8.
8. All right.
And I will get the extra 1 point from this. Will also go to my AC for next round.
Outstanding. That works.
What is that mechanic?
That's dueling. It's +2 on damage, and then I get extra damage for defensive flourish, which I get the extra damage and the AC bonus for the next turn.
Cool.
All right. Now it is Ashley. He is going to, while the owlbear is gnawing on the skeleton wall, he's going to take out a flask and dump some holy water on the owlbear.
On the owlbear? Okay, go for it.
All right. That is a 15 to hit.
That will hit.
All right. 7 damage. And it is radiant.
So it kind of bubbles and sparkles, and the owlbear just kind of collapses in a heap on the ground.
Okay.
4 skeletons left or 2?
All 4.
All 4.
Well, owlbear skeleton is now no longer animated, crumpled into a nasty, foul-smelling, radiant heap on the ground. Who's up next?
I am.
Tana. You got 4 skeletons.
Wand of Magic Missile.
Cool. And
Against-
how many missiles do you have?
I have
Do you
19 left. So
Yeah, but how many shoot when you shoot?
3.
So I believe you can choose
Right.
your targets.
Yep. So you want to hit one skeleton
One.
with one for one?
1 for each. Let's spread the love.
That could help it when the next person hits it. They
What
might
is it?
just finish it
1d4
off.
plus
You never know.
1?
1d4 plus 1.
Gotta
But
get
see, the
it.
thing is, as each missile hits, you can choose a different target.
I spread it. Oh, wow. That's
2?
2.
So
On the first
2.
one.
Okay.
Next one gets 3.
3,
And then the third one gets a 4.
4. All right. So each of the skeletons does get hit. Your magic missile hits. They light up for a moment.
All right, and now skeletons.
The skeletons get to go. So we still have 2 on Ashley. We'll go with you first.
Critical fail.
Critical fail for them. So you're rolling 20s?
I'm rolling 20s.
Good gosh, man.
And then a 20 for
That's critical.
my defense on the second one.
I think he's got a rigged die there. It's awesome.
All right.
It rolled a 1 for me. I got a critical fail myself.
So on the one that first tried to hit you, when it spins, its leg snaps off below the knee, and it just starts hopping there in place.
Ah, that's humorous.
Joe's like, no points will be awarded.
No point. Zero. I don't have any foxes to give. And the other one, you had a 20. Not a natural 20, but
not a natural 20,
right,
but a regular 20.
The other one misses you as well, and the other two skeletons are on Crispin.
Back to me.
So, Crispin, you defend yourself. Tell me what you got.
20 on the die.
Good gosh, man. All right. So this skeleton, that's the same thing. I'm not doing the same thing. Unless these are really brittle skeletons. We'll do this one instead. You might be able to use this. When it swings at you, you are able to grab its sword without hurting yourself, and you are holding its sword. One end while it's still holding the other. So you might be able to do something with that.
Okay.
What I got is its weapon is stuck on a non-damaging part of the enemy or a nearby object. I want you so you just grab his sword when he swings it at you.
Okay. So
And the other one? So you rolled a 20.
sorry.
What's the other one?
13 total.
That one will hit you. You will finally be hit.
All right.
And this is actually, the one whose sword you grabbed was the one that was going to do minimum damage anyway. This guy is going to do 5.
Cinco.
Piercing damage. I don't know if it matters. It doesn't because you're not raging.
I don't think it does.
Yeah. And that's the skeletons are done.
How would it matter if I was raging?
If you were bear totem as well.
Yeah.
If you were raging in bear totem, you would. And actually, no.
resistant.
But I'm wolf.
You'd be resistant to
Yeah, be resistant to
everything
all
except-
physical damage while raging.
So the whole idea of it being piercing wouldn't matter, but that it isn't magical would matter.
Right. Okay.
And then that is back to Crispin.
All right, Crispin. What do you want to do with? You're holding the skeleton sword. Do you want to do something with that?
Absolutely.
Because make something up and let's see if we can do it.
I
I remember your idea of cleaving before. Maybe you can just lift the skeleton up by a sword and swing it into the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Something like that.
Sure.
Damage them both that way.
exactly. I mean, it would be kind of like in a past life, perhaps I'd gone goblin tossing, but now I want to go skeleton swinging.
Skeleton swinging. There's a dance like that. I want to make this a strength thing.
Oh, okay.
Because you're not necessarily rolling to attack, and because improvised weapon will
That's right.
suck.
That's right.
I just want to make it a strength thing for you to smash skeletons together.
So what do you want me to roll?
I want you to roll a strength check.
So D20
Just
plus
straight
strength?
up strength or athletics. I guess you could do athletics because that'll give you a plus since you'd be proficient in that.
Exactly.
Use athletics.
All right. And I'm going to re-roll this because it was no fun.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, here we go. So 12 plus 4 for athletics, which is 2 strength and 2 proficiency.
And that's good. I was
D60.
giving you a DC of 15 to pick them up and slam them into the other one.
Awesome.
So now what I want you to do...
So I'm thinking this is like Bam Bam and the Flintstones.
Yeah.
Bam, bam, bam.
So with that, let's do... let's give them... roll a D8, add your strength modifier, and they will each take that amount of damage.
Roll a D8 and add my strength modifier.
Yeah.
4 plus 2.
So they
6.
each take 6 points as you're smashing them together.
That's probably good because my unarmed strike does 3 bludgeoning, so that's probably
All
a
right.
fair result.
They are not re-dead, as it were, but the one that the sword that you're holding, like most of it has fallen off. It's still grabbing onto the sword, but it's pretty much gone below the waist, and it's just a
So it's
head
now a
and
sword
torso
flail.
and arms. Pretty much, yeah.
I'll have it on the ground, just like
And who's up after that?
Gregarious.
Greg.
I guess. How many skeletons are up now?
All 4 are still there.
Oh,
Now, one of them
all
happens to be on
standing.
the end of the.
I'll attack
Kristen's
whatever's
arm.
attacking Ashley then.
Okay, so you got 2 there. Both have been hit by a magic missile,
All right.
or each have been hit by a magic missile.
19.
19 definitely hits. Yep.
10 points of damage.
All
I'll
right.
do 12 points of damage. It doesn't matter.
Well, it does matter.
12 points of damage.
All right, because
I'm
10
gonna
doesn't
do
kill
the-
it, 12
yeah,
does.
do the dueling.
All right.
I'm not going to do any flourishes.
So that first skeleton is down. What do you hit it with? The
Rapier, yeah.
Okay.
So he sticks it into rib cage and
Yeah, I'm just thinking. Yeah,
right
you
to the eye socket.
yeah, or something like that. You poked something that stopped it from animating. You undid the animation, as it were.
All right. Now it's me.
I assume when I
ahead,
swung
Ashley.
him with
Yeah.
that was bludgeoning damage, right?
That's why I was treating it. That's why I said a D8 instead
plus-
of a lower number.
right.
I was going to say a D10. I
That's
said
fine.
D8.
I was just
Yeah.
thinking about.
I figured I would just do more flat out damage. Yeah.
13 to hit.
Ashley, 13 is the armor class of the skeleton.
All right.
That hits. They're actually wearing scraps of armor, by the way.
6, 1. So that's 13 minus half, so 6 damage. 7 damage.
7, okay.
And one more round of half damage left.
All righty. And who's up next?
Oh, the wand.
The wand?
How many are left?
3. One of them, flailing around, holding on to the end of the short sword that Crispin has the other end of. One that's being, beaten by that mess. And then another one still on Ashley that he just hit.
All right, we'll hit the one that's on Ashley first.
Okay.
3 points.
It falls to pieces.
Appreciate it. Next one, we'll hit the one that's flailing on Crispin over there.
At the end of the sword?
2 points.
Oh, so close, but not quite dead.
I kind of want him to make
Hit
it.
him
Walk
again.
up and kick him. Is that
You
a
can-
bonus action?
You can hit that one. This is the one on the end of the sword. You just smack it against the wall. And then you still have the one that's still standing there. That's being hit by the flail.
I'll hit that one now.
Okay.
Spread the love.
One, number 4.
Ooh, 4.
4 points. Okay. And who's up next? Is it the skeletons?
Back to skeletons. Well, actually, no, because skeletons aren't on a 20. That was the owlbear.
Owlbear was a 20, right?
Yeah, so Crispin.
Crispin.
Oh, no, you're right. Skeletons next. I'm so sorry.
So
You
they
were
were
gonna
a
totally
6.
skip
Have
I
they
was
not
going to
gone
skip
yet?
them. I was
Yeah.
going to skip them. So,
Okay.
yeah.
So I have 2 skeletons left. The one that's on the end of the sword is just going to try and reach and claw at your arm. So you have that attack and the other one both on you still.
Okay.
So you go for it and roll.
The first one is a 10 total.
All right, you will be hit by that one. And since the way I just described it, he's going to hit you for a D4 of damage.
Okay.
And he has to do minimum damage, so it's just going to be
D4.
3 points. It's just going to be 3 points. This is the one that does minimum damage
Okay.
for now.
So I just take 3 automatically.
Yeah, you're going to take 3 points.
All right, and then the second one is 22.
That'll miss, definitely.
Okay. My brain has not adjusted
And
to
that-
the backwards numbers yet.
No. Yeah, just so you know, the number that you were trying to hit for the skeletons was a 14. As long as you're doing 14 or higher, which you guys are rolling kind of astronomical numbers. It's pretty
Right?
cool.
Like,
yeah.
It's great.
So we have that, and with
Hashtag
that,
winning.
with that, we're just going to say these last 2 skeletons have a combined total hit point. Since they're not going to make it to their next round, they have a combined total hit points remaining of 3. So you guys will easily be
That's
able
like
to
one
finish
magic
them off. Yes. You finish them off. There's nothing else of note in the room, and we're going to continue going into the dungeon crawl when we pick up the next episode. But for now, we can finish this one up after killing off a bunch of skeletons and suffering a a little bit of injury.
A little bit. I took
Just
a
a
couple.
bit, just a little bit.
Just a little
You took
damage.
half laying damage.
Oh, gosh.
But we'll all
Hey,
say
thanks for listening. Welcome back to
Bye, everyone.
Corvosa.
Ciao, ciao.
Hoped you liked it and thought it was humorous.
If you liked it, please rate and subscribe.
Thank you, Mickie.
You're welcome.
The preceding podcast was brought to you by One Joe Young. You can find us online at adventuresfromtheshed.com.